Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's hearing is a shining example of acting first and thinking, well, never. A mother calls an entirely avoidable trip to the courtroom because she convinced herself that her ex was starting a new family. Instead of asking him, she went straight to filing for child support. Imagine telling a judge you filed, not because you needed it, but because your emotions got the best of you. Insane. Especially since they're getting back together. Now the court has to clean up a situation that should have never made it this far. Let's see how this chaos works out.
At this time, court's going to go ahead and call Bell County Calls number 25, DFAM 351,086. This is in the interest of Marquez Rosario minor children. Non-custodial party in this matter is Jovan Wilder Marquez. Custodial party is Marina Alamo, and this matter is before the court on a petition to establish parent-child relationship. I'm sorry, petition for confirmation not agreed to child support review order. Sorry about that. Court will note for the record that both parties are present today. Both parties did sign waivers of service and agreements to appear in court today, and they're both are here at this time. And attached to the pleadings is a petition for confirmation of this non-agreed to child support review order that was attempted to be negotiated with the parties through the state office. Anyway, I'll ask the state for an open to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today, whether or not we're doing this as a temp or a final, and what you understand the contest and agreements to be at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Requesting a final order with requesting one amendment to the order that was submitted to the court, and that is that Mr. Wilder Marquez, is an officer with Killeen Police. I imagine the court will want to waive court costs. The proposed order did not have that language. But otherwise, the state is requesting that it be confirmed as is. I mean, the court has it all there in the order, but I think I'm actually going to be the one that's the holdup on this. My understanding is that the parties have a private agreement as I understand it, has been struck recently, and that is that Mr. Marquez is to pay Ms. Alamo $800 a month directly. My understanding, like I said, this has been struck recently, so I don't know that any of these $800 payments have happened yet. Anyway, I'm not in agreement with that. Obviously, the court has the discretion to do whatever the court thinks is best. I believe there'll be some testimony that the two are thinking about getting back together. Other than that, the gross, I believe, $6,095.48. And I can get the breakdown for the court, but I believe $461.22 is the total credits that the proposed order gives Mr. Marquez for both the health and the dental that he would carry through his work with the police. And the guideline calculation, we have $1,131, Your Honor. Oh, and then the standard possession order is also agreed to by the parties. And sorry, joint managing conservator and standard possession order, I should say.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and let the state call you both as witnesses. Here's the problem, Mr. Marquez. Agreements to pay directly and not through the state disbursement unit probably is a definitely no-go. Child support has to be accounted for, and that's always through all court-order child support is through the San Antonio State Disbursement Unit that was set up by the legislature. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So, again, not doing it directly, but it has to come out of your check and go into the State Disbursement Unit, sir. So let me get some testimony and see what you folks are doing and why you're doing it. And the bottom line is, obviously, this court will drop all orders going forward if the parties you come back and show that y'all are married, not just back together, because you and I both know people that have been back and forth together. I have several times, and it is what it is. But until you put the ring on it, then there's no legal obligation to keep that relationship. So the bottom line is, folks, I've got to follow what the family code says I'm supposed to do in child support cases. And the state is requesting the father to pay child support and to maintain health insurance and dental insurance and give them proper credits for each. So I'll get some testimonies from the parties and see what the court is. What the court's going to have to decide. And again, I've got to base it on the family code and not on your individual agreements. But anyway, I'll let the state go ahead and call you as witnesses, and let's see what we got here. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Miss Alamo. Ma'am, will you state your full name, please?
Mariana Alamo?
And were you able to hear the opening that I gave the court just a few minutes ago?
Yes, sir.
Was there anything that was wildly off that I told the court?
No, sir.
So I have it correct that $800 is the private agreement you have with Mr. Marquez?
Yes, sir.
When did you all come into this agreement?
About, I believe, like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay,
It was
and
this
so
month.
would he pay you at the beginning of the month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so has he made an $800 payment yet?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Um,
No, sir.
when did you and
No,
Mr.
sir.
Marquez separate?
No, sir.
March last year.
Okay.
No, sir.
And between
No, sir.
when you separated and
No, sir.
when you came to this agreement, were there issues with Mr. Marquez contributing to the support of his
Yes, sir.
children?
No, he would send some money.
Okay. Was he giving you what you needed?
Yes,
Okay, then why'd you apply for child support?
because at the moment, honestly, it was out of like an emotional, like I let my emotions take over and was scared about the situation what was going on, and I wanted to protect my kids and make sure that they were okay.
Okay, what actions did Mr. Marquez take that made you afraid that you wouldn't have enough to support your children?
Nothing physical. I just thought he was starting a life with a new family.
Okay. Does he have children outside of this relationship?
No,
Okay.
Good.
You and Mr. Marquez have plans to get back together?
yes, we've been talking about it.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, you said y'all were separated since March of last year. On an average basis, how much was the father contributing to your household each year directly to you? I mean, each month directly to you?
About between 250 to 300.
And how close do y'all live to each other now?
I'm sorry?
How close do y'all live to each other now?
About 5 minutes apart.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, ma'am. I'll let the call the next witness. I'll be back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Mr. Walter Marquez. Sir, will you state your full name, please?
Javon Zachary Stephon Marquez Wilder.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Marquez Wilder. And do I have it correct that you're with the Killeen Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I take it you have health and dental insurance through KPD?
I do, sir.
And the total credit that I have you getting, I'm sorry I don't have the breakdown, but I have a total credit of $461.22. So does that sound about like what it costs to carry the two children on health and dental?
Roughly, I know one of them's on it for sure right now, but we're waiting for our youngest's social to come in, and her social finally came in, so we're waiting for Medicaid to cancel because I can't put them on my insurance without Medicaid being canceled, according
Okay.
to my HR department. So I don't know if it will go up or down.
Yes, sir.
Up.
But it's your request that the court order that the insurance be through your work?
Yes.
Okay. And did I tell the court correctly, gross wages before taxes and everything else, approximately $6,095.48?
Sounds about right.
Okay. Do I have the $800 a month agreement? Is that correct between you and Miss Alamo?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right. You realize that's that's over a $300 difference between my guideline calculation and your agreement. You understand that?
Correct.
Why do you believe that deviation is appropriate?
So me and her spoke about it before. She stated that she didn't really need as much money as she needed because she does live with her family. So she said she didn't need as much. I was like, whatever money you need, it could even be the same amount, which is the 1195. She stated she wanted the 800, so it wasn't my doing. I just agreed upon it. Just whatever she needed. I was like, I'll just whatever was needed per se.
And I might have my numbers wrong. If I can take another look. I think my screen might be lying to me. Okay, so I have 6,095.48 is your gross income. You said that was roughly correct. I think you did. So I have $461.22 for just the medical, and then I have another $13.95 for the dental. Does that sound correct?
That does.
All right, and then the guideline calculation, which I apologize for this, and I apologize, Your Honor. No, my calculation is $1,131. So that's the number I'm giving to the court. I'm sure you'd prefer that over 1190 something.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Any other reasons that you want the court to consider as far as what the court's going to order today?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to go to the family code. So unless we have extraneous circumstances, which we don't.
Okay, and I appreciate it, Mr. Marquez, and I appreciate your service. I'll pass a witness, Your Honor.
All right, then. I forgot what I was going to ask that fast. Anyway, you're KPD, and
Yes, sir.
and the mom testified y'all been separated since last March, April, somewhere around that time frame, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then. Okay. All right, then, sir. Again, the state's asking for $1,100 and some change, $131. The court can usually go with an agreement as far as a 10% deviation, but going down 25%, yeah, that's gonna mess with the guideline amount. So again, I could knock down 118, or even just I can knock down to 130 without being outside that 10 percentile threshold. But and if moms agree with that, I'll go with that. But the thing that's confusing me, I never heard of an insurance company that didn't want somebody else taking care of copay, taking part of the risk as far as the insurance is concerned, and making you cancel that insurance and let them pick up 100% of the bill.
Yeah.
Which
So-
insurance company do you have?
With KBD, sir, it will be a Blue Cross Blue Shield. I believe we
Okay,
just
that's
moved
it.
to them.
Okay, that's what
Just
the
move
state
with
has, and Blue Cross usually doesn't require anybody to quit their other insurance, and I'm sure as heck not gonna. I can't order the federal government to
Yeah.
drop those kids, and mom can't do it unless they say they want to do it. So that's going to be problematic getting that done. So because again, it's a federal
Yeah.
right that they determined that she's entitled to. So again,
Yeah.
I want to go back with people and say, y'all don't want someone else being a co-insured with this. Again, that's just not the norm. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, but anyway, again, ma'am, it's left up to Medicaid if they want to go ahead and drop it. If it's coming up for a renewal, that may be something. But I usually don't order anybody off that, especially if there's some type of prior circumstances dealing with one of the children's medical needs. Is there any things that's a constant that's above the norm what children normally have that would give you cause for concern if you didn't have insurance, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then. Again, ma'am, you heard me. I can deviate 10%, but I can knock down to 130, but I got that makes it a thou even, and that's within the 90, right at the 90 percentile that I have to order no matter what. So, and again, and without the necessary testimony to do something different, that's as low as I can go. Is there a problem with that amount, ma'am?
No, sir.
All right, if you want to give them back to $200 each month, that's fine. That's left up to you once it comes in. But I've been telling that smart. I've been giving this speech for 20-something years, and guess what? In 20-something years, I don't think I think I've had one person give the money back because they actually already got the money from another source.
Okay.
And I've actually had people get the money from another source and refuse to give the money back. So and I've had that happen a lot more than anything else. But anyway, I'll go ahead and deviate from the guideline and make it a thou. Sorry, sir. It's got to come through the state disbursement unit. That's the
that's fine.
system, and that's what we got to do. And if y'all get back together, if y'all get married, then let the state know, and they'll drop it. But just getting back together will, you know how that works. Okay, so yeah, you're a police officer. You see that.
Yeah. It is.
Also, yeah. All right. But anyway, I'll waive court costs, set I'll order dad to maintain health insurance, dental, and give him credit for it. And ma'am, if they drop you off of Medicaid, then that's fine. But obviously, I'm not going to order you to drop your Medicaid. So long as those children are eligible, they need to stay on there. And I'll leave that up to you and Medicaid to take care of that portion of it. And I'll go ahead and, like I said, grant everything else I just went over. So at this point, is there another question you have at this time, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay. How about you, sir?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Diamond, you get all that. I'm deviating the 10% down to 1,000 even. I'll order dad to maintain health and dental, and I'll go ahead and waive court costs due to him being a public servant, and everything else is per the order. Joint management conservative with the mind, the right decides domicile. Is that right? Unrestricted, Mr. Diamond?
Your Honor, I should have checked that before I got in front of you. Yes, Your Honor, we wrote it up as unrestricted.
All right, so mom can live where she wants, but again, obviously, those are the circumstances. And I'll go ahead and, like I said before, waive court costs due to them being in public service. And anything specifically that I need to rule on, and that way I can confirm with the parties if there's a problem on anything else. All right.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. So I was confused. So just now I heard 1,000 even is the child support order. I think
yes, sir. I'm going to deviate. I'm going down to 10%, which is close to. I'll just make it 1,000 even instead of taking it down to 108 or something like that. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean 1108, which is kind of So I'll deviate down and to 1,000 by agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. And other than that, if the court would ask the parties to stick around, I can have this order out to them maybe 10 minutes.
All right, then, folks. I'll ask y'all to hang around long enough to get a copy of this order and review it and sign off on it. If you don't sign off on it, it's not. It'll be presented to me eventually, but we like to let parties look over everything because you pretty much got the order because this is a CSRO, but it's going to be some changes in that order, so we want you to have the opportunity to review those changes. So, is there anything else at this time, ma'am?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Marquez, anything else, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
The court isn't relationship therapy, and child support shouldn't be weaponized. Yet here we are, watching a judge sort through the fallout of one person's emotional overreaction. It makes you think, how many custody and support cases exist because of hurt feelings instead of real hardship? And should there be consequences for dragging someone into court over a breakup-induced panic attack? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.